Hello and welcome to another quick session of yoga with Kelly Lane. Today we're going to break down each asana or pose of the Sun Salutation A. They're pretty common poses that you'll find in pretty much every Vinyasa flow class. So we're going to break them down so you can head into any class and do a Sun Salutation A. We're going to start at the top of the mat. Feet are together, knees are together. Hands overhead, deep breath in. And from here, we're gonna tuck the tailbone. That just means we're bringing the hips over the knees, over the ankles, and keeping a tight stomach. Hands overhead. Shoulders are down the sides of your back. The shoulder blades are down the sides of your back. But you're reaching towards the sky, and the crown of the head is going towards the sky as well, keeping the tight stomach and the hips squared in front of you. Deep breath in as we reach for the sky and forward fold over, hinging at the hips. So forward fold is hinging at the hips and you're melting your chest towards your thighs. And if you can touch the ground, that's the ultimate goal. You're gonna keep your hips over the ankles. Here we go, side view. Forward folding over, touching the ankles if you'd like, pulling, getting the stretch through the crown of the head. So here's a half arch or a half forward fold. I call it a half arch. You're going to take your hip bones to the crown of your head. Here's the crown of your head. And you're going to lengthen your spine. From here, it's usually a forward fold into a half arch. You can still touch the ground as long as you're bringing your chest up, or you can touch the shins if that feels comfortable for you. As long as the sacrum, this is the sacrum here in between the hip bones. In the sacrum to the crown of the head, one long line of energy. Keeping the hips over the ankles, hands can be on the shins if you'd like. That's the half arch. You're going to step back into plank. Either foot is fine. And the shoulders are over the wrists here. And we're tucking the tailbone here, tight stomach, and pushing through the heels. That's a plank. Here's a chaturanga, which is lowering yourself down. And that's an upward dog. We'll break that down. Upward dog is keeping your shoulder blades down the sides of your back, opening up the chest and looking up to what's comfortable to you, keeping the thighs off the ground. And that is an upward dog. Here's a downward dog, and the sit bones to the sky. You can bring your feet a little further apart if it's comfortable for you, if you're a little tight in the legs. This is the sacrum here. Sacrum is going towards the sky, being pulled as if there were a string. And you just let your shoulders just kind of melt, all right? Keeping your hands fully on the ground. All points of the fingers are holding some weight. That's a downward dog. Now step to the front of the mat into our half arch. Lifting the chest, the sacrum to the crown of the head, spinal lengthen right there. That's our half arch. Hips are over the ankles. Forward folding over, chest towards the thighs. That's our forward fold. Deep breath in, hands overhead, tall mountain. And bring the hands to heart center. Let's do it again. Deep breath in, hands overhead, tall mountain. Breathe out as you forward fold over. Breathe in to a half arch. Step back into plank. Breath always follows movement in a Vinyasa flow. So breathe in and one asana and out as another. See how I'm making you do a plank here? Holding it? Haha. We're going to chaturanga down, keeping the elbows close to the body. Shoulders are over the wrists. And upward dog. chest is open. Shoulder blades want to touch behind you. And downward dog, tailbone to the sky. Step to the front of the mat, forward, half arch. And breathe out as you forward fold over. Deep breath in, hands overhead, tall mountain. And out. Hands come to heart center. Here's a variation that I tend to do in some of my classes. It's a sun salutation with some little add-ons. Fall into a chair. Now here's chair. Reaching towards the sky. Now as if you're going to sit down in a chair and someone press pause. Okay? So the knees are over. They don't go over the toes. You don't want them to go past the toes. Keep your sit bones as if they're coming towards the ground, as if it's being pulled, and your fingertips are being pulled towards the sky, keeping the shoulder blades down the sides of your back. And that's our chair. Keep the knees and the feet together. Shoulders and hips and knees are all squared forward. That's our chair. Forward fold over. Half arch. Step back into plank. Chaturanga down. Upward dog. Downward dog. Here's the variation. Bring the left foot to the sky. This is a three-legged dog. So we're in a downward dog position, but with one leg towards the sky. We're pointing the foot, but flexing the toes. It's called a floint. That's our three-legged dog. Bring the knee to the nose. Hold it here. And swing it through to the front of the mat. From here, we're going into a lunge. So the hips are squared. Knees are all squared in front of you, and bring your hands up overhead into a crescent. Tucking the tailbone, shoulders are down the sides of your back, shoulder blades down the sides of your back as if they want to touch behind you. Reaching from your crown towards the sky, knee is over the ankle. And that's our crescent pose. Step back into plank, chaturanga down. Upward dog, downward dog. Right foot to the sky, three-legged dog on this side. So again, you're in a downward dog. The toe that's up in the air is pointing towards the sky. Get a good line of energy from your hip to your toe. Okay, floint that toe, which is the point the foot and flexing the toe. That's our three-legged dog. Bring the knee to the nose, hold it here, and swing it through to the front of the mat. Swing the foot through. The knee is over the ankle. This is our high lunge. Hips are squared in front of you. Great alignment as if you're in between two panes of glass. Put the heel and kind of push it behind you as if it was being pulled behind you. Bring the hands up overhead. Come into our crescent. Squaring everything in front of you towards the front of the mat. As if you were between two panes of glass. That's kind of what squaring it means. So step back into plank, chaturanga down, upward dog, downward dog, it's a restorative pose. You can go into this pose at any time during your practice. Tailbone to the sky. Step through to the front of the mat and come into a chair pose. Knees are not over the toes. Hips are squared in front of you, knees are together, feet are together. Stand up into a tall mountain. Give yourself a little bend in the back if you'd like. And hands to heart center. Namaste. Be well.